Well, with hours to go until the Iran nuclear deal deadline, both sides are admitting the talks will go past tomorrow. But there are new concerns that pressure to seal a deal will end up resulting in a bad deal for the United States and its allies. Joining me now, we've got Judy Miller from the Manhattan Institute, Deneen Borelli, Conservative Review Chief Political Correspondent. They are both Fox News contributors, and Nomiki Konst, the Accountability Project founder and president. Ladies, welcome to you.
Thank you.
All right, Judy, you know, if you look at the criticisms against the Obama administration, they're saying, look, the Ayatollah, they agreed supposedly to these sanctions and to getting the sanctions lifted back in Switzerland. Now they're saying, well, you can't access the scientists, you can't come into our facilities, but they want the sanctions lifted. And we're still at the table with these guys.
Yes, we are, because the Ayatollah's red lines, the new conditions that he's put on this agreement, which was, by the way, we had two different versions of the agreement to begin with, their version and our version, but the Ayatollah has now set new red lines, and the Americans are scrambling to try and figure out a way around those conditions.
But you're shaking your head in agreement that this is kind of what is happening. But do you think the U.S. needs to walk away?
No, I don't think that the U.S. needs to walk away. I mean, there are some signals that they're willing to budge a little bit. For instance, with the sanctions, Ayatollah has signaled through his foreign minister that they can phase out the sanctions, which gives us a little bit more time to build in our provisions to the agreement, which include the snapback provision, which is basically if they violate the terms of the agreement on the sanctions, then China and Russia do not have a vote in the UN for us to come back and say we're pulling out.
But yet the Russians are involved in it. We should be clear here, and that's another scary side to this story. But at the same time, you know, look, I mean, you had Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu screaming about this over the weekend, saying this is exactly what I told you was going to happen.
Right.
You cannot trust Iran. They're going to develop a nuclear weapon, and we're going to suffer. Is he right?
Yeah, well, how can you trust Iran when they're screaming death to America on every chance that they get? Listen, our enemies don't fear us, and our allies don't trust us.
Why is Kerry still at the table?
Well, they're all flip-flopping. Listen, Iran they know Obama is weak. And, you know, the red line, as Judy mentioned, the JV team, listen, they know that Obama is weak, and they keep playing the clock, running the clock on us. And here we are, the time has expired.
But Judy, why would we risk security of our Middle East allies to strike this deal? Why are we so committed to the Iranians when the Ayatollah has clearly completely backpedaled?
Well, I'm not sure. The question in the minds of the negotiators, that is our side, and it's not just us. Remember, it's the P5+1. It's the UK and France and Germany, et cetera, and Russia, yes. But the question is the Ayatollah's bottom line, is that just a kind of tactical bluff to get us to back down?
Well, the question is he really in power? And many say that he is.
And no one knows the answer to this question.
But
we will know when we see what the agreement, if there is one, looks like.
But they should list the sanctions until the citizens come out in the street and protest. You know, sanction them to.
And it will drive them because their economy is in shambles.
Right.
Ladies, thank you very much for the perspective. I feel like we're going to have this discussion again as the deadline is now another deadline going through the doors.